Jay-Z has always existed in that space between legend and reality. He's the billionaire entrepreneur who transformed his street hustle into a cultural empire, the Brooklyn-born rapper who became a global mogul, the man who married Beyoncé and somehow managed to maintain that iconic power couple image for nearly 2 decades. But now, that carefully built legacy may be on the verge of collapse. Enter Rymir Satterthwaite, a name most people didn't know until recently, but one that Jay-Z's legal team has reportedly been trying to push into the shadows for more than 10 years. Rymir isn't just another guy chasing internet fame. He's someone who spent most of his adult life trying to prove a single point, that Jay-Z is his biological father. And now, he's taken that battle to federal court. Let's rewind the story. According to Rymir, his late mother, Wanda, had a brief relationship with Jay-Z back in 1992. She was just 15 at the time. Jay-Z was allegedly 22. The relationship didn't last, but Wanda got pregnant. Rymir was born. Years later, Wanda sat him down and revealed the truth. At first, she said a man named Sean Carter was his father. As a kid, it didn't really matter. He already had someone raising him. But as Wanda kept repeating the name over the years, it started to mean something. By the time Rymir turned 8, she was no longer speaking in code. She was naming Jay-Z directly. For years, Rymir and his family tried to reach out, not to ask for money, but to request a paternity test. A simple DNA test to find out the truth. He's been clear from the beginning that this was never about financial gain. Allegedly, Jay-Z's legal team initially agreed, until they learned how young Wanda had been at the time of the relationship. That's when everything changed. Rather than cooperate, Jay-Z's team reportedly pulled back, possibly out of fear that confirming the relationship could expose him to serious criminal consequences. Fast forward to 2025. Rymir has filed multiple lawsuits, including one under Proc Legal Act, a strategic legal move aimed at exposing what he claims are systemic failures that allowed Jay-Z to avoid accountability. He's accused the courts of ignoring evidence, allowing fraud, and even letting lawyers lie without facing consequences. At this point, the case is bigger than just Jay-Z. It's about a legal system that Rymir says has failed him from day one. Despite all of this, Jay-Z still hasn't taken a paternity test. Not once. And that's what has people talking. Because if someone publicly accuses you of being their father, and you're certain they're wrong, wouldn't you just take the test and end it? According to Rymir, Jay-Z already knows what the result would be. And it's not Rymir he's afraid of. It's what the truth could mean for his billion-dollar brand, his public image, and most importantly, his marriage. Because Beyoncé, she's reportedly done looking the other way. Insiders say she's known about Jay-Z's alleged infidelity for years. We all remember Lemonade. We all saw the elevator incident with Solange. But a secret child with a teenage girl? That's not just another scandal. It could be the final straw. And things only get more complicated. 50 Cent, never known for holding back, recently took shots at Jay-Z over the situation. He claimed Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage was always more of a contract than a romance. According to him, Jay-Z's career only really skyrocketed after the wedding. Grammys started piling up, and he transitioned from gritty street rapper to polished hip-hop royalty. But if the marriage crumbles, so does the image. And Rymir, he's not going anywhere. Even after withdrawing his most recent federal lawsuit, he made it clear this fight is far from over. He said it himself, he's playing chess now, not checkers. And Jay-Z? He might be running out of moves. Jay-Z's legal team isn't staying silent either. They've gone on the offensive, painting Rymir's campaign as a decades-long harassment effort. Court documents claim Rymir's lawsuits have been tossed out multiple times and accuse both him and his godmother, Lily, who's also his legal guardian, of disregarding court rulings. Their argument? This isn't about truth. It's about dragging Jay-Z's name through the mud for attention. But Rymir has remained unfazed. He's already endured public backlash, skepticism, and attacks on his character. People have called him a liar, an opportunist, even a scammer. But in over a decade, his message hasn't changed. No flashy media stunts. No money demands. Just a quiet, consistent call for the truth and a fair chance of proving in court. And let's be honest, If Jay-Z really wanted to end this, it would take less than an hour. One cheek swab. One lab test. Done. But instead, there's been radio silence, legal maneuvering, and what many believe is a full-blown effort to bury the story for good. The plot thickened when Rymir suddenly dropped his federal case. On the surface, it looked like a loss. But almost immediately, he jumped on Instagram Live to clear the air. "It's not over," he said. "We're playing chess, not checkers." He claimed the dismissal was a tactical decision and hinted that even more serious moves were coming. For someone who's been fighting since 2015, he doesn't sound like a man giving up. He sounds like someone just getting started. And here's the part that makes it all even harder to ignore. Rymir looks a lot like Jay-Z, not just a little. The resemblance is striking. The bone structure, the facial expressions, the overall presence. Even people who work closely with Jay have said it. Once you meet Rymir, the similarities are undeniable. Oskino, a rapper who personally knows Jay-Z, didn't mince words. He flat out said, "That's his son. You can tell." And if that's true, then this case isn't just about proving paternity. It's about something much more serious. Because Wanda, Rymir's mother, was a minor when she gave birth. And if Jay-Z really was 22 when they were involved, then this isn't just a scandal. It could be a criminal offense. If this turns out to be true, it's not just controversial. It could cross the line into criminal. And that's the ticking time bomb no one in Jay-Z's camp wants going off. According to multiple reports, Beyoncé has been quietly creating distance. Some insiders say she's had enough, while others believe she's holding the pieces together. For the kids, for the empire, for everything they've built together. But one thing is obvious. The brand they've spent decades building is under fire. Beyoncé has spent her entire career crafting a nearly flawless public image. She didn't work this hard just to have it all brought down by a decades-old secret her husband refuses to confront. Of course, 50 Cent had something to say. He always does. On a recent podcast, he claimed Jay-Z and Beyoncé's relationship was more of a strategic alliance than a love story. In his words, Jay-Z's career exploded not because of talent alone, but because of what the marriage represented. The image of a loyal husband, a family man, a business-minded king of hip-hop. But now that image is under siege. What makes this moment different is that the narrative isn't being filtered through tabloids or polished PR campaigns. Rymir is telling his story straight to people. Through Instagram lives, raw videos, and unfiltered emotion. He's not polished. He's not perfect. But he's real, and that's what's connecting with people. Not just hip-hop fans, but everyday people. People who know what it's like to be dismissed, silenced, or treated like they don't matter, just XZ, for asking for the truth. The story surrounding Jay-Z and Rymir Satterthwaite is no longer a background buzz. It's growing louder, more complex, and impossible to ignore. But beneath the lawsuits and social media noise, there's a human story here. A man who just wants answers, and another doing everything possible to avoid giving them. Rymir has said it over and over. He doesn't want Jay-Z's money. He's not chasing fame. He's not trying to destroy lives. He simply wants to know where he comes from. He wants to stop being treated like an inconvenience just because his existence threatens powerful people's reputations. And it's not just about Jay-Z anymore. Rymir's battle has been against the system too. He's spoken openly about what he says is deep corruption in the legal process. He's accused judges of ignoring obvious evidence and lawyers of committing outright fraud. He's been in and out of courtrooms since he was a teenager. He's paid legal fees out of pocket, lost time, lost relationships. His own mother passed away during this exhausting legal war, and still, he keeps pushing forward. He's filed complaints. He's released video updates. He said things publicly that most people would be afraid to even whisper. And while doing all that, he's been raising kids of his own, holding down work, trying to live a regular life while carrying the weight of this fight on his back. The weight of not being believed, of being ridiculed, of being made into a joke, just for trying to be heard. And what has Jay-Z done in response? Silence. Not a single interview. Not even one direct public statement addressing the allegations. No clear denial. Just tightly worded legal filings from a team of lawyers labeling Rymir a harasser and accusing him of wasting the court's time. But if it was all lies, if none of it held weight, why hasn't Jay-Z taken a DNA test and shut this down once and for all? That's the question that keeps nagging people. Jay-Z is one of the most powerful men in music. He doesn't need to avoid anything, unless there's something worth avoiding. And the silence? It's only fueling the fire. Then there's Beyoncé, America's queen of perfection. She spent decades curating her image with precision. Every move is calculated, every moment iconic. Her reputation is almost untouchable. But now, she's being pulled into this mess. And that's dangerous territory for someone who's built her legacy on control. Sources say she's livid. Not just about the accusations, but about Jay-Z's refusal to take responsibility. She knows the stakes. This marriage isn't just personal. It's business. It's brand. It's cultural capital. And if the truth comes out, it could shatter all of it. Meanwhile, the internet isn't buying silence. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, people are talking. They're pulling up old interviews, comparing facial features, matching up timelines. Sure, some fans are still riding for Jay-Z, but more and more people are starting to wonder why this story has been buried for so long. Because here's the thing, this isn't some clout-chasing troll trying to go viral. This is a man who's been telling the same story, with the same details, for nearly 15 years. And now he's stepping it up. He's reportedly filed criminal charges. He's naming names. He's calling out not just Jay-Z, but the system that's allowed this to drag on for so long. At this point, Rymir is fighting for more than himself. He's speaking up for every child who's ever been left behind, every person who's been silenced because the truth would make someone else look bad. And now, whether Jay-Z turns out to be the father or not, the damage is done. Because one thing about the truth, it always comes out eventually. And when it does, it won't just shake Jay-Z's legacy. It could completely destroy it.